Okay, welcome back, warrior. We are now at Mormon chapter 6. Oh man, it's crazy. We're going through all these things. Okay, it says, the Nephites gathered to the land of Cumorah for the final battles. Mormon hides the sacred records in the hill Cumorah. The Lamanites are victorious and the Nephite nation is destroyed. Hundreds of thousands are slain with the sword. Oh man, this is like so rough. Okay, so I really love what the Red Hat Hostess says here. It says, here's the end after the ministry of Jesus Christ, after the ministries of Nephi, Jacob, Mosiah, King Benjamin, Abinadi, Alma the Elder, Alma the Younger, Helaman, and others, after once having Zion among them, after being delivered from their enemies time and time and time again, after being given a promised land, after having the fullness of the gospel given to them. Now they have rejected all of that, and now this is the end. Can you imagine what it was like for Mormon to write this chapter? He was now completing his mission to abridge the Nephite history, and it was ending like this. He knew much more than we do about the details of his people, and he knew that he was living in the most wicked years. How he must have longed to experience the other times he had written about. Oh, that does make me sad for him, right? Poor Mormon, the one guy who would be just living life with Christ, has to have this as his calling, Okay, verse 1, the final battle. And now I finish my record concerning the destruction of my people, the Nephites. And it came to pass, my hair is so tickly. It's probably why I don't do my hair down most of the time, because I can't stand it. With ADHD, I think it's like, anything is like a distraction. Okay, and it came to pass that we did march. And now I finish my record concerning the destruction of my people, the Nephites. And it came to pass that we did march forth before the Lamanites. And I, Mormon, wrote an epistle unto the king of the Lamanites, and desired of him that he would grant unto us that we might gather together our people unto the land of Cumorah, by a hill which was called Cumorah, and there we could give them battle. And it came to pass that the king of the Lamanites did grant unto me the thing which I desired. And it came to pass that we did march forth to the land of Cumorah, and we did pitch our tents round about the hill Cumorah. And it was in a land of many waters, rivers, and fountains. And here we had hope to gain advantage over the Lamanites. So their preparation and gathering. Okay, there's a quote right here. Wait, no, let's read the quote after we read verse 6. And when 384 years had passed away, we had gathered in all the remainder of our people unto the land of Cumorah. And it came to pass that when we had gathered in all our people in one to the land of Cumorah, behold, I, Mormon, began to be old, and knowing it to be the last struggle of my people, and having been commanded of the Lord that I should not suffer the records which had been handed down by our fathers, which were sacred, to fall into the hands of the Lamanites, for the Lamanites would destroy them. Oh, right, of course. Therefore, I made this record out of the plates of Nephi, and hid up in the hill Cumorah all the records, which had been entrusted to me by the hand of the Lord, save it were these few plates, which I gave unto my son Moroni. Wow. Okay. So verse 6 had a quote, remember? So we're going to read that from President Harold B. Lee. We're running low on our battery for the iPad. Okay, says, well, this is what Red Hat Hostess says, and then the quote. So before the battle, Mormon hid the records in the hill Cumorah, except for the gold plates, which he will pass to his son Moroni, who will later hide those up for Joseph Smith. Mormon knew that if he did not hide the records, the Lamanites would destroy them. Those records contained a history they did not like, for they had a hatred for Nephi, who felt wronged by their fathers. Destroying those records would be erasing that history. which would be crazy to think that these records wouldn't even exist, right? Okay, so here's the quote from President Harold B. Lee. It says, "Don't be concerned over Book of Mormon geography. Some say the hill Cumorah was in southern Mexico, and someone pushed it down still further, and not in western New York. Well, if the Lord wanted us to know where it was, or where Zarahemla was, he'd given us latitude and longitude, don't you think?" Oh yeah, for real. And why bother our heads trying to discover with archaeological certainty the geographical locations of the cities of the Book of Mormon, like Zarahemla? The witness of the Book of Mormon is not found in the ruins of Central and South America. They may be outward evidences of a people long since disappeared. The real witness is that which is found in the Book of Mormon itself. End quote. Oh, I love that so much. Yeah, my testimony doesn't come from research and locating where the accuracy of all the events and all the places people find in the Book of Mormon or things that have been dug up, but just from this record, the Book of Mormon. That is what my testimony is based off of. And Jesus Christ, it has a record of Christ. Like, how is there anything better than that? Okay, my hair is killing me. I'm about to put it back. Threatening. Okay, so that was a quote from President Harold B. Lee, Teachings, page 156. Okay, so now we're on verse 7. "And it came to pass that my people with their wives and their children did now behold the armies of the Lamanites marching towards them with that awful fear of death which fills the breasts of all the wicked, did they await to receive them. And it came to pass that they came to battle against us, and every soul was filled with terror because of the greatness of their numbers. And it came to pass that they did fall upon my people with the sword and with the bow and with the arrow and with the axe and with all manner of weapons of war." So the battle begins. "And it came to pass that my men were hewn down, even my 10,000 who were with me, and I fell wounded in the midst, and they passed by me, that they did not put an end to my life. And when they had gone through and hewn down all my people, save it were 24 of us, wow, among whom was my son Moroni, and we, having survived the dead of our people, did behold on the morrow, when the Lamanites had returned unto their camps from the top of the hill Cumorah, the 10,000 of my people who were hewn down, being led in the front by me." So 10,000 people. And then, verse 12, and we also beheld the 10,000 of my people who were led by my son Moroni, so that's another 10,000. And behold, the 10,000 of Gedona had fallen, and he also in the midst, so another 10,000. And Lamah had fallen with his 10,000, and Gilgal had fallen with his 10,000, and Limhah had fallen with his 10,000, and Jenim had fallen with his 10,000, and Cumeni and Moronihah and Antionum and Shiblam and Shem and Josh had fallen with their 10,000 each. So many 10,000s. And it came to pass that there were 10 more who did fall by the sword with their 10,000 each. Yea, so that's another 100,000. Yea, even all my people, save it were those 24 who were with me, and also a few who had escaped into the south countries. And the few who had deserted over unto the Lamanites had fallen, and their flesh and bones and blood lay upon the face of the earth, being left by the hands of those who slew them to molder upon the land, and to crumble, and to return to their mother earth. And my soul was rent with anguish because of the slain of my people, and I cried. Right? Who wouldn't? So, 24 remaining peeps. The total slain was, so far, the count is 230,000 people. Like, that just is so crazy. Okay, so this is Mormon's cry to the people who are now gone. It had now been almost, okay, where the battery's going low. We're trying fast. We're going fast. Almost 1,000 years since Lehi's family entered the promised land, and this was now their fate. Elder Jeffrey R. Holland spoke of these verses, and he said, following the tremendous battle at Cumorah, Mormon looked out over the catastrophic over the catastrophic carnage, the destruction of 1,000 years of dreams, and cried to ears that could no longer hear, O ye fair ones, how could ye have departed from the ways of the Lord? O ye fair ones, how could ye have rejected that Jesus who stood with open arms to receive you? Behold, if ye had not done this, ye would not have fallen. End quote. Okay, we haven't read that just yet, but it's coming. Oh, and the iPad has just died. And that was Elder Jeffrey R. Holland. Okay, so we are on verse 17. We need to read with the glasses. Okay. Why? Because the iPad is gone, and I don't like that because the iPad actually helps me read the scriptures with larger text. Okay, so it says, O ye fair ones, how could ye have departed? Oh, look, that's our next verse. O ye fair ones, how could ye have departed from the ways of the Lord? O ye fair ones, how could ye have rejected that Jesus who stood with open arms to receive you? Behold, if ye had not done this, ye would not have fallen, but behold, ye are fallen, and I mourn your loss. O ye fair sons and daughters, ye fathers and mothers, ye husbands and wives, ye fair ones, how is it that ye could have fallen? But behold, ye are gone, and my sorrows cannot bring your return. And the day soon cometh that your mortal must put on immortality, and these bodies which are now moldering in corruption must soon become incorruptible bodies. And then ye must stand before the judgment seat of Christ to be judged according to your works. And if it so be that ye are righteous, then are ye blessed with your fathers who have gone before you. Oh, that ye had repented before that this great destruction had come upon you. Right? Because there's that scripture that says this is the life to prepare to meet God. So that's what this life is for, to prepare to meet God. Not to just make bad choices and then try to repent last minute, but it's not going to work that way because you might die right before that happens. Like these peeps. But behold, ye are gone. And the Father, yea, the eternal Father of heaven, knoweth your state, and he doeth with you according to his justice and mercy. That's the end of that. The remote's over there, miss. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. And that's the end of that chapter. We'll read our Read It, Live It. So wild, right? Just like, how is Mormon able to capture all this for us? Okay. Here's our Read It, Live It. It says, read the way Mormon describes Jesus with open arms ready to receive you. Imagine that. Yeah. Like, I don't think that they did imagine that before they died because they didn't believe anymore. And it's so sad to think that it happened so quick for us, right? It happened so quick for us. And anyway, what's really cool, something that we did as for our family. So my grandpa passed away last October, and he was huge on family, and like he loved like reminding us whose birthday it was that had passed away, and it was like our great grandmother or great uncle, or just like distant family that you've like never met, but that through him we could get to know. And he would send out birthday reminders via email and tell us like whose birthday it was in our family and where they're living, and kind of like just our little record keeper. He was so cute that way. Also, like, he was sending emails before emails was a thing. And now I get way too many emails from random people, and it's totally spam. But anyways, I always called him like the most tech savvy old guy ever, because he was sending emails, and like people these days like that are that old do not send emails even. So anyway, so So he was always trying to keep the family together, and he called us his gran familia, his great family. And anyways, we had the pleasure of being all in the temple on yesterday, and we were able to have my nephew be baptized as a proxy for my grandpa. And it was so cool. Like, it's funny because we talk to him about family all the time and about how, our religion, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, how we believe that, this life is just a temporary state and that we continue, like our spirit continues to live. And he didn't understand that, or maybe, I don't know exactly, but he did not think that life went on after we died. And it was always something that I was like, wait, I don't understand how you don't think that. Yet you're trying to help us all remember who passed away and whose birthday it is. And like this part of our family, like, why would it matter whose birthday it was from our great ancestors if we weren't going to go meet them later, right? Like, it just didn't make sense. And so it always was weird to us that he never got baptized. We were like, why wouldn't you get baptized? This is like your church that you would want. Anyway, so I think yesterday when we were all there and he was able to get baptized, we just felt like, at least I know I felt a rush, and my friends who work at the temple with me, I was able, like, so that was my shift that I work in, and they came, like my family came during my shift, and my friend said you could feel a rush of just like the spirit just confirming, that he most likely was so excited about being baptized because he now understood what was going on. Because, I'm pretty sure I didn't explain things right to him so that he could understand. And so the fact that he was able to be there yesterday is so special. I know that he now knows what's up, and that he was so grateful that he had such a great meeting with our family up there when he died, to know that death was not the end. Death is not the end. It's just a stage. It's just like something we have to pass through for later. Anyways, it was so special to be there. And then my son was able to be confirmed so that he could receive the Holy Ghost. And like, it was just so special, and so now my grandma and my grandpa, who were divorced a long time ago, are now members of the church, if they accept it, obviously, but I'm pretty sure they both did. And I'm pretty sure we just couldn't explain it to them in a way that made sense for them to change while they were living. So anyways, now we're just excited that they are part of the same thing that we're all a part of, like, it's like life doesn't end just right when we die. It continues. We continue. And this is just like a tiny little sliver. But, while we're here on earth, we want to take advantage of the opportunity to learn about Christ and learn to be like Christ. And sadly, the Nephites at the time that Mormon was there were making those bad choices and were not, but I know that eventually, just like, obviously my grandpa did not kill people, but like eventually they come to their senses and will know and will see that it was not fake. Everything that Mormon talked about, everything that the prophets talked about was real, and that Jesus Christ is who can save them. And so I bet that was also really crazy for all of them to die at the same time, basically. 230,000 people just went up into the spirit world at once, basically. And so it's like, okay, guys, we're all here. Let's talk about this, right? You could just imagine like the kind of reunion they're all having together. Like, what is this going on, right? I don't know. Like, I like to picture things sometimes that way because it helps me to think, what would I do in that instance? So anyway, all right. Well, that is it for chapter 6. So we are all caught up now, and we will be able to read Mormon chapter 7 tomorrow. And until then, stay strong, warrior, and remember that Christ just wants us to come unto him. Like, it doesn't matter what we did. Doesn't matter what we did. So just come unto Christ. All right?